I have friends that make 20, 30, 40,000 a month from their agencies or their business models. I have mentors who are nearly millionaires and I meet with them once or twice a week. And in this video, I'm going to be telling you the exact advice that they give me on how to actually guarantee a good, successful life. Now, I'm going to break it down into three simple steps. For me, the first step is defining your definition of success. For some people, it might be being a billionaire. For others, it might be being a millionaire. For others, it might be being a housewife or being a doctor or being a lawyer. But the most important thing is that you need to be honest to yourself on what you want, what's the exact type of lifestyle you want in the future. Because if you don't know how you're going to get there, but you at least have a destination, you will connect the dots eventually. I promise you that. Imagine this good analogy I got from a book. I think a 4-hour work week. Imagine you're driving a boat and you have zero destination in mind. Where are you going to go? Absolutely nowhere. So the most important first step is actually defining in quantifiable numbers or values or statements what you want. For me personally, right now, it's a bit vain, but I want a good muscular physique and I want to make £10,000 a month. Yeah, cool. People say don't chase money. My personal reasons are not just for the money itself, but really what the money can do for me regarding helping out my family, buying, be going into philanthropy, things like that. And that's my personal goals. Maybe you have your own ones, maybe you have different digits of values. And that's the first step. Actually write it down. If you don't know what to write down or you have a lot of things to write down, a good piece of advice I got from Hamza was to write down a list of 10, maybe 20 things that you just want to accomplish in your life. And then circle the 2 things that will move your ladder the most, like move your whole life the most if you tick them off. Circle those 2 and then cross out everything else and dedicate your life to those 2 goals. I did that exercise and I told you my goals. Once you have that defined, I highly recommend writing out your goals and sticking them on the wall where you work right in front of you. So every single day you look at them and you know what your goals are. I wrote this around a year ago, I'll be honest. I wrote £10,000 a month and 80 kilograms, 10% body fat. Those who know that I hit 80 kilograms. I did not hit 10% body fat, but that's cool. And just have that stock on your wall so you see every single day. That's the first step done. Actually do it. Don't continue watching this video, please, unless you've done that. You got that piece of pen and paper, you've written everything. And now the second step is to write the habits that will get you there. For me personally, it's just about writing 3 to 5 habits, nothing more, that will actually get you to your goals. For me, I picked a business model, sales. I wrote 10 to 20 things that will get me there. And in pretty much any financial model you do, there's really only 3 things that are going to get you to your goals. Let's say, for example, you have a copywriting business model. The first thing is practicing copy. The second thing is having a mentor or books or someone that can teach you how to get better at copy. And the third step is actually outreaching to clients. Those are the 3 things that are going to move the lever. So for me, as someone in sales, the 3 levers are practicing sales, doing cold calls, doing call role plays. The second step is actually having a mentor or having books or someone that I can look up to that can teach me. If you're in a job, you'll probably be your sales manager. And then the third step is doing it, actually doing those activities. And another tip I will heavily give is make one of those habits, documenting your journey on either Instagram or YouTube. I've been doing that and the benefits is going to compound over time. I promise you that. So that's my 3 steps. Cold call, learn how to get better at sales, and document my journey or give value on Instagram. That's my financial stuff ticked off. Now for me, obviously my second goal, get a muscular physique. There's around 3 things that will get me there as well. First step, sticking to a good diet, high protein. I want to cut, so low calories. Second step, sticking to a good workout program. I do full body 3 times a week. And the third step, for me, I would probably say maybe getting my cardio in or getting my sleep in. But that's my 5 or 6 habits. And I know that as long as I tick them off every single day, sooner or later, I have to become successful. And that's because just a mental model. Go to the logical extreme. If you did your habit for an infinite amount of time, is there any chance of you being successful? If the answer to that is no, then you know you're doing good habits. So for me, I know that if I cold call and I get feedback and I document my journey for an infinite amount of time, there is a near 100% chance I will be making 10k a month. Why? Because if I document for an infinite amount of time, I'll have an infinite amount of subscribers. If I cold call for an infinite amount of time, I will be infinitely better. And if I have someone telling me how I can get better, then I'll be amazing at sales. Obviously, I don't live to infinity, but that's just a mental model I use to see whether a habit is worth doing. Same in the gym. I know that if I track my calories, track my protein, stick to a workout schedule for an infinite amount of time, I have to get an amazing physique. There's no other choice. So define your goals and then define the 5 or 6 habits that will get you to those goals. And then third step, I'm sure you know what it is. It's just doing it and shutting up every single thing else. There's a quote from Hormozy. He says, focus is just about denying everything that will not get you to your goals. That's pretty much what you have to do. Every single day, when you wake up, you need to tick off those 6 habits every single day, and anything else that's fluff, don't do it. I'll be honest, I still do other habits because I'm not a perfect human being, but try your very, very best, or at least heavily prioritize those 6 habits that will get you to your goals. And another mental model to really focus on is being input focused. I have a friend, and me and him are in very similar boats where we haven't really hit our first 4 or 5 figure month yet. But he was talking to me about what should I do to get to 100,000 a month. And I'm like, bro, please just focus on hitting that 3-4k a month first, because there's no point of just draining your mental energy trying to focus on what's going to get me to 100, what's going to get me to 200k a month when you haven't even hit 2. So really just be input focused. That's the only thing you can control. The only thing you can control is your inputs. Don't worry about how much money you make. Don't even worry about that. Don't worry about your actual physique. Just worry about, am I doing, or am I trying my very best to get me to from where I am to where I want to be. And that's pretty much it. Genuinely, just do those 3 things. I'm going to summarize them. Define a goal, define habits that will get you there, and then say no to anything else. Just do that for long enough and you are guaranteed success. If you're somebody who has a financial goal like me and has no idea where to start, I recommend personally getting into sales. Why? Because it's a very valuable skill set that you can carry over into pretty much any other business model you do. I have a couple videos on my Instagram at sales by Abel, ABEL, on how to actually land your first offer, and you can just DM me if you have any questions. Aside from that, just don't procrastinate, just have a goal, define your goal, act towards it. I hope that helps. Peace.